"Thanks for help, Sam," she said ironically. Sam hadn't helped her at all. Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new playlist. It's going to focus on Oxford word skills, upper intermediate to advanced. And without any further ado, let's go to lesson 1. And it's going to focus on meaning and style. Section A is going to be a conversation about meaning. And let's get started. A says, would it be accurate to say that student and pupil are synonymous? B replied, no, not exactly. A student is a person who studies in a school, college or university. Pupil has a more restricted use. A pupil is someone who only studies in a school, especially a primary school. And B asked again, it's a bit ambiguous to say she's a good student, isn't it? Yeah, you can interpret it in different ways. Good can mean well-behaved or hardworking. The meaning of wrapping paper is fairly obvious, isn't it? Yes, it's self-explanatory. Just paper for wrapping presents and stuff. Can you give me a precise definition of soul? Well, it's virtually the same as spirit, the part of you that is believed to exist after you die. But spirit has several other meanings too. And now, let's go ahead and check the words we're going to learn from Section A and pay attention to two things. Their spelling, the underlined parts, because it's a little bit tricky, and the pronunciation. Accurate, synonymous, restricted, ambiguous, interpret, self-explanatory, precise, virtually or virtually. And the first word is accurate. Would it be accurate to say blah blah blah? Accurate means exact and correct, without mistakes. The noun form of accurate is accuracy, and the opposite is inaccurate, like it is inaccurate to say something. Let's listen to some extra examples. An accurate description of something. Or you might have an accurate picture of a situation, an accurate prediction that comes true, an accurate assessment of the resources. And now let's go to the next word. It's synonymous. A said, would it be accurate, would it be exact to say that student and pupil are synonymous? If two terms are synonymous, they're having the same or nearly the same meaning. The noun form is synonym and the opposite is antonymous. Let's listen to the word in some extra examples. Irritated and annoyed are more or less synonymous. Wealth is not necessarily synonymous with happiness. And the next word was pupil. Pupil has a more restricted use. And in the conversation, it was already explained. They said a pupil is someone who only studies in a school, especially a primary school. And let's listen to some extra examples. A second-year pupil, a primary school pupil, a school with over 400 pupils. And let's go to the next word, which appeared in the same conversation line. Pupil has a more restricted use. Restricted means controlled or limited, especially by an authority or something. The noun form of restricted, which is an adjective, is restriction. And here are some extra examples. Something has a restricted use, like a particular word, or a restricted area, restricted access to something, restricted resources. And this leads us to the next word, ambiguous. Ambiguous. It's a bit ambiguous to say she's a good student, isn't it? Ambiguous means unclear, because there's more than one possible explanation. Anyways, the noun form of ambiguous is ambiguity. Ambiguity. And let's listen to some extra examples. An ambiguous phrase, an ambiguous title, an ambiguous term or word. And this leads us to interpret. If something's ambiguous, you can interpret it in different ways. To interpret something is to explain the meaning of it. The noun form of which is interpretation. Listen. To cautiously interpret to cautiously interpret something, to interpret a poem, to interpret something as, like to interpret a comment as criticism. And the next word is wrap in paper. Wrap in paper. The meaning of wrap in paper is fairly obvious, A said. And it really is. Wrap in paper is paper for wrapping presents and stuff, B replied. And this was the definition of wrap in paper. Let's listen to some examples. A piece of wrapping paper, a sheet of wrapping paper, a roll of wrapping paper. So wrapping paper's meaning is self-explanatory. It's self-explanatory, just paper for wrapping presents and stuff. If something is described as self-explanatory, it is easy to understand and not needing further explanation. For example, a self-explanatory list of instructions is pretty clear. A self-explanatory title, a self-explanatory term. The term self-explanatory is already self-explanatory. And now let's go to the next word, precise. Can you give me a precise definition of the word soul? Precise means both clear and accurate. We have already learned the word accurate, and it means exact. Precise means it's both exact and clear. The noun form is precision. The word is somehow synonymous with exact and accurate, but it's, to be honest, more than accurate. And here are a couple of examples. And here are some more examples, like the precise location of somebody, something, a place, the precise details of, or you can just say, at that precise moment, she walked in. It means at that exact moment, she walked in. And the next word is soul. Soul, too, was already described in the conversation. It is the part of you that is believed to exist after you die. And a good synonym is the word spirit. For example, I feel he's with me in soul. Her soul is now in peace. Literature is balsam to the soul. Next up in the conversation, they said, the words soul and spirit are virtually the same. Virtually means nearly, almost the same. And the adjective form is virtual. Here are some collocations. Like two things or people are virtually the same. Or two people, like a twin, can be virtually identical. Or doing something might appear to be virtually impossible. And now let's go to section B, explaining style. First up, let's have a look at the words we're going to learn and practice their pronunciation. Ironically, literal, figuratively, metaphor. We can also say metaphor, disapproving, slang, offensive, insulting. And the first word is ironically. Thanks for help, Sam, she said ironically. Now, she said that ironically because Sam hadn't helped at all. So ironically is when you say the opposite of what you mean. You say yes, but you mean no. You say no, but you mean yes. Often, this word is used humorously. The adjective is ironic, and the noun form is irony. Let's listen to some more examples. Oh, no problem, he said ironically, but actually there was a problem. And here are some extra collocations. An ironic comment, an ironic reply. It is ironic that. It was ironic that. The irony is, the new tax system will burden those who intended to help. And now let's go to the next word, literal. The literal sense of gold is a valuable yellow metal used to make coins, jewelry, etc. Now, literal means the basic or usual meaning of words or phrases. Gold is literally gold. Let's listen to the word literal in another example. The literal meaning of the word petrify is turn to stone. Let's keep talking about gold. Golden is used figuratively in this sentence. Working in this company is a golden opportunity for him. Golden is used figuratively here, and when a word or phrase is used figuratively, they are not used in their literal natural or basic way. And this is usually done to make the description more interesting. The adjective form is figurative. Let's listen to some more examples. In the sentence, he exploded with rage, with anger, the word explode is used figuratively. Humans cannot really explode. Only bombs explode. But anyways, he exploded with rage. And this is making the description more colorful. Here's another example. A philosophy text full of figurative expressions. Philosophy texts are usually riddled with figurative expression. Let's go to the next word. She has a heart of gold is an example of a metaphor. And it means, have a heart of gold means that person is very kind, to have a heart of gold. But let's talk about metaphor. Metaphor is a word or phrase that describes somebody or something in a way different than it is in the real world. So people cannot have a heart of gold, but that is just metaphorical. And metaphorical is the adjective form. Remember that metaphorical and figurative are virtually synonymous. Now, let's listen to another metaphor. The mind is an ocean is a metaphor. Let's go to the next word. Disapproving. The dictionary marks the word stupid as disapproving. Now, disapproving is often used in most dictionaries to mark or show that using that word is bad, using it is wrong. Here's another example. Always check adjectives describing people and be careful with those marked disapproving. The next word is slang. In slang, a shrink is a psychiatrist or a psychologist. Slang refers to particular sets of words that are very informal and used by particular groups of people in spoken language normally. Here are some examples. Army slang, words only used in the army. Chicken is a slang for someone who isn't very brave. So chicken as a slang means someone who isn't very brave. There are so many slang words for the word drunk. And now let's talk about swear words. Swear words are offensive to many people and not appropriate in most everyday conversations. And remember that swearing is the use of swear words, and swear words mean rude or offensive language. If you swear at somebody, you might make them angry. And apart from that, swear can also mean make a serious promise to do something. Let's listen to some examples. It was a real shock the first time I heard my mom swear. When the taxi driver started to swear at him, he just walked off. He cursed and swore so loudly that everyone rushed to calm him down. And we said swear words are offensive. Offensive means rude in a way that causes you to be upset, causes you to be angry. It means inappropriate, and that's a very good synonym. The opposite of offensive is inoffensive or appropriate. Don't confuse them. Offensive and inappropriate are synonymous, and the opposite of this is the pair inoffensive, appropriate. Let's listen to some examples. This program contains some language that some viewers find offensive. He told some really offensive sexist jokes. An inoffensive article. Someone seems like an inoffensive guy. His comments were appropriate. An appropriate response. Inappropriate language. Next is the word insulting. He called Tom an old woman. How insulting! Insulting means rude or offensive. The noun is an insult and the verb is the same, insult, to insult somebody. For example, an insulting remark. She was really insulting to me. I can't bear his insults any longer. Sorry, I didn't mean to insult you. They were hurling insults at each other. By the way, hurling insults at each other means they're shouting insults or rude language at each other. And this brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. It was Mohammed with you from M&M English, and do not forget to use the very original book and do the exercises there. But now, let's review everything in chunks. Accurate data, inaccurate data, synonymous terms. Something is synonymous with a second-year pupil, a restricted area, an ambiguous title, difficult to interpret, a sheet of wrapping paper, a self-explanatory term, the precise location of, a balsam to the soul, virtually identical, spirit, say something ironically. The irony of it is that an ironic comment. Literally, it's the literal meaning of something. Figuratively, a figurative expression, a metaphor. Metaphorically, it is a disapproving term or word, a slang for or a slang word for to swear at somebody, and the past form is swore. They swore at each other. Offensive language, inoffensive article, appropriate response, inappropriate language. How insulting! An insulting remark. To insult somebody. To be hurling insults at each other. And that brings us to the end. Thank you for watching. Again, it was Mohammed with you from M&M English. And ironically, don't like, don't subscribe, and never share. See you in my next video.